Hello everyone, my name is Owl and this is the very first video of my Crafting the Middle Ages Minecraft series. To start, I'll be splitting this introductory video into 3 parts. The first part will be introducing myself, the channel, and the series. The second will be a broad overview of the early Middle Ages, so from around 476 to 800 AD, which will then transition into the last part of the video, which is castle developments, since I'm intending to live in one for this series. I hope you enjoy the very first episode of Crafting the Middle Ages. Alright, time to see what kind of world we get, I guess. I hope it's not a completely garbage spawn. Here we go. What are we gonna get? Ooh. Okay. This is promising. Alright. Looks like we got a pretty decent start now. To start off, I'm primarily a medievalist with some interest in the ancient Roman and the Egyptian ages. My bachelor's degree is in writing, and I'm currently in the final stages of working on my history master's dissertation that focuses on the medieval crusading era. Other than the Crusades, I'm also interested in the 100 Years' War and the Hussite Wars. But when I'm not studying the Middle Ages, I'm usually working on perfecting my Latin, which I have 3 years of experience in so far. 2 of those years were self-taught, and 1 was for the intensive Latin course for my degree. But other than that, I love reading fiction, writing fiction, playing games, pretty obviously, and riding my motorcycle. Nice. I've never used that mod before, so that was really convenient that it just happened to work at that one time. Truth be told, however, the Crafting the Middle Ages series, it's still very much a new idea, and I'm not exactly sure how to go about it yet. At its core, though, the series is meant to serve as a fun, entertaining way to educate people about the Middle Ages. I figured since I'm horrendous at 3D modeling and 2D animation, and I have no actual interest in being a professor, that teaching in this sort of casual academic YouTube format would be a cool idea. Ideally, the series will combine the sort of gradual expansion of the survival Minecraft world with various videos of information on the Middle Ages. The videos would be themed and they would coincide with whatever I'm building in the world, such as a video on monasteries while I build a monastery, or castles while I build a castle, and so on and so forth. I'm hoping that the format of delivery through Minecraft will help visualize it a bit better for people, and that the educational aspect of the videos will let viewers learn something new with every video. I love learning new things, I love sharing that knowledge with others, and I love gaming, so I feel like this series of mine will be a good blend of that. I hope to expand your knowledge as much as mine, so stick around and maybe you'll learn something. Don't really know. Ooh, that looks promising. What? No way. This would be perfect for a castle. Wait, hang on. I want to see if it goes all the way around. That would be amazing for a castle. Got trees on it, got a natural body of water around it for defense. I just want to see if this water wraps all the way around. It looks like it does. That would be such a cool base to have. Introducing the Middle Ages is a bit of a tough one. European society didn't just decide to switch into the medieval age one day, and the start and end of the Middle Ages is actually rather unclear. There were a few events that could have signaled the roots of the Middle Ages. One of them is the conversion of Constantine, a Roman emperor, to Christianity in 312. Another could be the abdication of the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus, in 476, which marked the end of the stable Western Roman Empire. Out of convenience, we'll just pick that one. Most scholars say the years between 500 and 1500 define the medieval age. It's a perfect location because we have, a cave over there for mining. We have a cave right there also for mining. We have a cave right here. We have water surrounding it, which acts as, that gives us water and acts as a natural defense. And it's covered in trees basically. So this seems like pretty much the perfect candidate for a castle base. Now it's time to just get over there, get onto it, and start chopping trees down. Between the 5th and the 8th centuries, Western Europe was hindered by a lot of things. With the stability of the Western Roman Empire gone, Europe pretty much fractured between all of the invading tribes, such as the Ostrogoths into Italy, the Visigoths into the Iberian Peninsula, the Lombards into northern Italy, and the Vandals into North Africa. The Anglo-Saxons in 449 AD, as Bede writes, conquered the native Britons and Picts in what is today Great Britain. As time went on, small kingdoms started to appear, such as the Merovingians in Gaul in 481. With all these people moving around and making small communities, Latin falls out of use as the dominant language. It's then replaced by more vernacular languages, such as Frankish, Old English, and Spanish. In the Middle East, Islam was becoming a rising threat to Europe. Muhammad's death in 632 basically caused Islam to explode across the East. In his lifetime and for a century afterwards, they captured Syria, Persia, and Egypt. The Rashidun Caliphate, succeeding Muhammad, swept across North Africa and destroyed the Visigoths in the mid-7th century. Then the Umayyad Caliphate went up into Iberia in the 7th and 8th centuries. In 732, Islam's advance into Francia was stopped by Charles Martel at the Battle of Tours. Christianity only continued to spread in the 4th and 5th centuries, mainly due to Constantine's support and the conversion of a few Germanic leaders, such as Clovis I in 496. The Merovingians I mentioned earlier fell in 751. Charlemagne, the grandson of Charles Martel, formed the Carolingian Empire when he was crowned on Christmas Day in 800 AD. He believed Christianity was a way to unify lots of differing people under a single banner. The Carolingian Empire promoted a sense of stability to the smaller communities of Europe, as well as promoted Christianity through various reforms, such as the Admonitio Generalis, or the General Warning, which set standards of education for the clergy. Charlemagne also made massive leaps in unifying Europe under the empire, as through his various campaigns, he expanded the empire outside Francia to Italy, Austria, parts of Germany, and even a sliver of Iberia. Monasticism was also on the rise in Europe across this time. Monasticism is basically giving up worldly pursuits and turning to full-time spiritual work in order to be closer to God and Christ. It's thought to have started with the Christian desert hermits of the 4th century, more specifically with Anthony the Great. Soon after, people began forming like-minded communities, which is called Cenobitic monasticism. For example, the Benedictines arose from Saint Benedict, who created his monastery in Italy in 529. He later received support from Pope Gregory I in the 7th century and Charlemagne in the 9th century. Other groups, such as the Franciscans, would come later down the line. These so-called Dark Ages after Rome's fall were dark only in the sense that not much is known about them, but crucial developments in medieval Europe's history definitely did happen. I personally think these were transitional times that set up the big players of the High and Late Middle Ages, such as France and England, Christianity and Islam, and so on. Of course, I'll go into the deeper bits of history with each specific build or project I work on during this series. I just thought it'd be beneficial to paint a picture of what early medieval Europe looked like through the major empires, influential figures, and the religious complications of the time. Venturing down into the depths. Okay. I don't know if I'm ready. I guess we'll see. Oh, that is a bit of a drop. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna survive if I do go down there. I don't really want to test it since it's so early game. I'll try not to get myself killed. So, I think the collapse of the Carolingian Empire in 888 is a good place to divert to the topic of castles, which is the real star of the episode here. So, when the Carolingian Empire fell and was divided up, there was another loss of security, safety, and community. Local lords, particularly in northern France, started building castles, or rather, fortifying their homes and manors against invaders. As Jean-Denis Lepage writes, fortifications reflected the local power of the numerous lords. They reassured the frightened common folk and allowed the protection of people and property. The most basic and rudimentary castle that first emerged in the 9th and 10th centuries of France was the motte and bailey. Made entirely of wood, the motte and bailey had a few distinct features. It was a wooden tower or house built on an artificial or natural hill. The hill was called the motte, which was surrounded by a ditch or moat. Then, the bailey part of the structure was an enclosed area beneath the hill that often had other buildings for storage, animals, workers, guards, and so on. Though these structures did provide security and protection to local people, they were made of wood and were often damaged by fire, water, and wood rot. Only basic archaeological outlines survived because of this. Oh man, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. Oh no. With those downsides, the local lords sort of realized after a while that it was probably not the best idea to build out of wood, so they moved on to the more expensive stuff. Stone. Stone keeps, often square or rectangular in shape, emerged in the 10th and 11th centuries, such as after the Norman invasion of Britain by William the Conqueror in 1066. Since they were so expensive to build, they were only built by the really rich nobles. The rise of monasticism also contributed to this, since monasteries and churches were starting to be built from stone. There were stonemasons and stonecutters available to create these new stone keeps. They also adopted crenellations, which are those little teeth-looking structures at the top of castle walls and towers, allowing archers to shoot down on attackers safely. Oh, I regret not doing this. Fuck. I think first thing I'm gonna make is a shield. Can never remember how to make a shield, but I just had to look it up, so. Oh, and we'll get make shears too, just for sheep if we see any. I think what I want to do now is probably head to that village that we saw in the distance, just so that, you know, I can kind of check out what they got and see if they have anything useful. Can I make that? I'll risk it, I guess. Nope. Damn it. Alright, well, finally, in the 12th and 13th centuries, we can see the emergence of concentric castles, or castles with more than one wall, now with the addition of rounded towers. Some scholars, such as Lepage and Hugh Kennedy, think that the rounded towers and multiple walls came from the Crusades to the Holy Land, beginning in 1095. Developments in siege machinery could have also contributed. This is because sappers couldn't undermine round towers as easily as square towers, and stones thrown by catapults and trebuchets had a harder time punching through a curved surface. These defenses took the focus of the attack away from the central keep and rather focused it on the walls or the gatehouse. But these are by no means the only changes made in concentric castles. I'll go over in more detail some further changes once my Minecraft castle reaches that point. Personally, I really like the look and style of concentric castles, especially Carré de Chevalier, so that's the type I'm going to be going for my Minecraft castle. I think I should mention that I'll do my best to replicate the details of castle architecture, but by no means will everything look exactly as it does. It's Minecraft after all, and there's a bit of creative liberty you can take with it. My fancy shoes. I'm not a peasant anymore. I don't have to walk with my bare feet. I would like some fish to tame a cat. God, it is so hard to hit fish underwater. Nice. Okay, I think I have enough fish for a cat. Where is this cat, man? Take it, take it. I want you to have it. Ah, nice. Okay, whew. I have a cat now. Look at him. He's so cute. Look at the tail. I love you. Alright, so we got the cat. Now we just gotta get back to base. Where even is my base? Hang on. I think I got a little, turned around. No, it's over this hill. Okay, right. Almost lost my base, a day into building it. I'm collecting these pieces of wool to make a tent. Oh, it's gonna be such a pain having to swim back and forth. across this water. Like this. Just gotta nail our tent down, and we're good. Oh God, there we go. I think that's our tent complete. Our little base while we work on the castle. I think it looks pretty good, honestly. I mean, it might some banners might look better hanging off of it to give it more of a tent feel, but I'm liking where it's at right now. To end, I think I should mention the further reading list I'm going to be incorporating at the end of my videos. This is a list of works, either books or journal articles, that I have either used as research for this video or works I believe are particularly useful in understanding the topic further. I try to recommend works that I've personally read or that are, at the very least, on my bookshelf at home. These are also accessible either through retailers or Google Scholar. In the next episode, I'll be looking to actually start on the castle itself after taking some time to draw up some plans. So now that we have some basic supplies, now that we have the tent set up, and we have the land cleared of trees and ready for the castle, I think we can call it quits on the first episode. So thank you guys for sticking around, and I hope you learned something today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.